If you are looking to learn how to create high converting and gorgeous looking review blog posts, then you should watch this video. Hi, my name is Hanne from Thrive Teams. As a blogger, you probably know that writing review posts for physical products or for digital products is a great way to show your expertise, to engage with your audience, to provide value, but also to get affiliate commissions. That is why in Thrive landing pages we already have a complete set of review landing pages. But sometimes you might just want to use a blog post to write a review. And that is what you are going to learn in this tutorial. I'm going to show you step by step how you can use Thrive Content Builder to create high converting and gorgeous looking review blog posts.
So let's start this tutorial by looking at the exact blog post that we are going to create step by step. So as you can see, first of all, we have a box. This is a summary box of the review in which you have a lot of visual elements that are very interesting and will help your conversions. So we have the icons, the star rating, this a short summary, and then we have things we like and don't like. And as you could see, we have a button, a call to action button that actually shows up with an animation. This is going to attract the attention of the people visiting this page. And underneath we have the price, because that's one of the most important elements in the end for people who want to buy or not the product. And then we have a little introduction. And this is a very interesting element. It's a quick navigation. So this will allow people to find what they are looking for, basically, and to click on it and to go immediately to the part of the article that they are the most interested in. Why is this so important, especially in review blog posts? Because if you want to make a review that will help you sell the product and will help convince people to buy this product, then this might become a very long post. And having a quick navigation will help your readers to navigate through the article. And we have some other interesting elements, so some videos. These are embedded videos from YouTube that are mobile responsive, very important. And in the end, I added some pictures just to show you how this could be done. And in the end, we have another call to action button. This type of review, the way this review is structured, and especially the way that this first summary box is structured, is based on an article from Authority Hackers, how to write product reviews that sell, because they are really specialized in this kind of reviews. They make a lot of money from it, and so they have a very in-depth step-by-step tutorial, and I used their tutorial to help you make this one, so this tutorial about how to exactly make it with Thrive Content Builder. Let's get started. The first thing we'll do is add a new post. Let's give it a name. And now one thing I did on the other blog post is I actually chose to have a post template that's full width. This is not at all obligatory, but it's nice because you have a lot of information on the page. So having the full width, so without the sidebar on a blog post, give us a little more space to work with. But this is a Thrive theme option, so it's possible that if you are using another theme on your website, you do not have this possibility. In that case, don't worry, you can still follow the whole tutorial. You will just have a little less space because you will have the sidebar on your blog post. Or maybe you just want to keep the sidebar, which is also possible. And in that case, you can just keep everything as it is. But I'm going to work with a full width post templates. So we're going to save this as a draft and edit it with the Thrive Content Builder. This will give you a blank slate to start working from. And the first thing that we are going to build is this summary box. So this is what we are going to start with. To do so, we are going to choose the content box without a headline, and this is style 5, so that we have the color in the back. Click on it, and here we can change the color, and we make this a gray color. Next, we have the logo of the article that we are reviewing. So for this, we need an image, add media, and I have the logo handy here. With the Thrive Content Builder, you can simply change the size of the image, But for the speed of your website, I suggest you look at the size that looks good for your review. So let's say 150, and that you actually upload the image in the right size. So that instead of loading an 800 pixel image and then resizing it to 150, this actually is only a 150 pixel image. But you can do it with the Thrive Content Builder if you want to. We're going to align this in the center. And next we want a title paragraph, so we can actually use this one. I already prepared a document with the text so that I can just copy paste the text, because seeing me type is pretty boring and not very useful for you. So now we are going to make this a header. For this, instead of paragraph, we can choose a header 1, and change the color to a dark gray color. Okay. The next element we are going to build is this 3-column element with an icon, a text underneath, the star rating, and then a little more explanation about this. This star rating is really super important in your review post, because that's actually what people are used to seeing, and this also grabs a lot of attention. So like I said, we need a 3-column layout. Simply drag it on the page. And then first of all, we are going to insert an icon. So choose the icon element, drag it in the first column. You can click on the add icon element. Here in the 3 columns, I had features, user-friendly, and the price. For the features, I'm using this one. Underneath, we had the text features. This text is aligned in the middle. And now we are going to add the star rating. And this is also an element that you can find in the simple content elements, the last one for the moment. So that's the star rating. Drag it onto there. And here you can choose the star rating you want to give to the article. So let's say 4.7. So you can see that the stars fill automatically. We're going to center align this. And now I want this to be a little closer to the icon and to the title, so that it really looks like one element. And for that, I'm going to play with the margin. So as you can see, we have a top margin that I'm going to take away. And also we have actually a bottom margin on this element. Here we have a bottom margin of 35, so that's why the stars didn't move. So you just saw this moving. That's because I took away the bottom margin. And now I'm going to put another text element. Align this in the center. And this is about what I wanted to accomplish. So yeah, that looks pretty much the same. Now, instead of rebuilding these elements with changing the margin and everything, I'm going to copy them, because that will be faster to work. So I'm going to copy each element. The copy button is this green one with the 2 sheets on it. And I'm going to drag it into the next column. So as you can see, this looks exactly the same. And now by clicking on it, I can actually change the icon. So this is the user-friendly icon. And as always, I can just start typing. We'll change the rating. I can delete this column element. And now I will go ahead and do that one more time for the 3rd column. Let's save this. And let's take a look at what the next element should be. So now I need this 1-column text element, and then underneath we will put this 2-column layout with the stylized list in it. So this is a normal 1-column text element, and I'll make this first word bold. And now we need a 2-column layout. So let's put this 2-column layout in there. And like I said, we are going to use a stylized list. This one, the styled list. And the first one is with the checks. And the second one is with this crosses. Let's erase this text element. And to change the color of the marks, you have to make sure that you're on the outer border, so you see that everything is selected, because here you are only on the first line, so a little outside. Now you selected the whole thing, and from here you can choose the color, and so we want the green marks. And let's do the same with these crosses. So like I said, when you click here, you will be able to change everything that's inside, but if you want to change the colors, let's go here and choose for the red color. So this looks pretty nice. Now we are just going to put our text and the bullet points. To add another bullet point to the list, I can do enter, and this will make a new bullet point. Now that we have our summary and the pros and cons of the product in this styled list, the next element that we want to include is a first call to action button. So this actually means that with this summary, people have all the information they need to make a first decision and to see if this product is for them or not. And I will reload this page so that you can see again, maybe the first time you didn't catch it. Take a good look at the button now. Voila, that shows up with this spiral animation, and that's exactly what we are going to do now. So first we will insert the button. So for that, let's choose the button element and let's change this. So style 6 with the rounded corners. Let's go for orange. You can choose all the different colors, or you can choose one of the default colors that will automatically change with like the darker color for the shadow, and so it's easier. But if you want, you can use your own colors. That's no problem. Next, I want a normal button because this is a bit huge if we choose the big one. And to change the text on the button, you will go into the link settings and let's say here, get Thrive Content Builder. And here is the URL where you will put your affiliate link. I don't have one, so we will not put an affiliate link here, but this is where you link to it. And now let's align this button in the center. And one thing that you can do is if you want some more space between the text and the outline of this button, if you want to make this a little bigger, so first of all, we can make the size of the text a little bigger. But then we can also change the padding. So padding is actually what happens between the inner element and the outer. So the margin will be if you want to change here the distance between the button and the element above it. So in this case, the column element. And the padding will be if you want to change between the button and the text within the button. Let's go to margin and padding. And I'm going to make sure you can see this while it happens. So here, let's put some extra padding. Oh, sorry, I'm changing the margin. So here, let's put some extra padding. So now you see here you got extra space between the button and the text. And I will do the same on the other side. And this gives me a wider button without having to change the text. Now the next thing we want to do with this button is actually add the animation on it so that it really catches the attention of our visitor. And for that, click on the button and go to the event manager. This event manager is very versatile. It's a really interesting element to know about and to see what happens when you click on it, because this is also where you can add, for example, a light box pop-up. But now the animation we want to do is, so click event, select a trigger, so this is when this is going to happen, and in our case we want this to happen automatically when it comes into viewport. So select comes into viewport, and here you are going to select that you want an animation. And in this case our animation was the rotational animation. Click on save events and close. And now if we change this, save the changes and go into preview, let's scroll down. Ta-da! When this comes into viewport, and it will only happen once, so it's just one time when it comes into viewport, this button will make the rotational animation and catch the attention. And the next thing we want is another text element, because having the price close to the call to action button is a good idea, because it's a really important element for people to make the decision to buy or not the product that you are making the review for. This is already our summary box. This looks pretty cool. I think if you compare this to a lot of reviews, you will already be one of the nicer looking ones for sure, and stand out of the crowd. Now the next thing we want to do is write the actual review, and so have this quick navigation in there like I showed you. For this we will start by adding a paragraph. Now, if you want to know what exactly you have to write in this review post to make sure that people are ready to buy your article, then I suggest you go read the very in-depth article from Authority Hacker, because they explain everything you should talk about or what you shouldn't say, how you should say it. So that's really a very good resource. For now, let's just style this block of text. So this will be my introduction. And the next element that I'm going to put in here, so this one is the quick navigation element. For that, you can choose in the advanced elements, the table of contents. So let's put it here, and for the moment it's a bit empty, but don't worry about it. We'll come back to it to style it once I entered some more information. So underneath, I will have the whole review with like titles and subtitles and some text. So that's now what we are going to do. Now you can see I added text, but this is not stylized yet. So I didn't put the titles and the subtitles yet. So it's just plain text. And if you go into the quick navigation, so the table of content, you see that this is actually going to show the titles and the subtitles from your article. So if now I update this, I only get the H1, which is only title that I already put in this article, and this is this one. And I do not get any text of this yet. So what I have to do now is style this text. So I'll go into the text and click on the different elements to add headings and subheadings. And now if you look at this and you click on update, you see that it just added the header 2, so this one, and header 3. I'll quickly continue doing this so that I can show you how the navigation will look like. So now if we click on update, we can see that all the titles are here and that they are clickable. One thing that I should do in this case is select only H2 and H3, because I do not need people clicking going back up. So when they click on this, they will go back to this summary, and that's not really useful. So I will take out the H1. And now you can see that we have the H2 and H3 and that the first title disappeared. Here, in this case, we have 2 columns, and that is something that you can choose. You can say if you want only 1 column or if you want 3 columns. That's really up to you what you prefer. I do kind of like the 2 column, no, the 1 column layout is nicer, like this. And of course, we can go in here and choose the text. Let's go into the element and change the color. So here the header color, you can choose any color you like and that fits your brand. And you can change the background of this box, etc. You can really change everything and customize everything in this quick navigation element. So this is a really cool thing that you can do with Thrive Content Builder. A few more things I want to show you. First of all, with the embedded video elements. So you can very easily embed a video element that is still responsive, so that will still look good on mobile if you choose the responsive video element here in TCB. So that element, you can find it in the advanced elements and then responsive video. Drag it on the page, click on add a video, and here you can choose if you want a YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, or a self-hosted video. In our case, we used a YouTube video. And the only thing you have to do to embed this video, this YouTube video, is take the video URL. So I already copied this one. And like you can see now, the video has been imported in your post. You can choose to hide related videos, which I suggest to do, because if not, people will easily go and watch another video instead of looking at the rest of your review post. And also you can hide video title bar, so that looks nicer, especially if you have a thumbnail that has the title on it. This looks kind of huge, right? This video, because it expands to the whole width of the post. So if I want to make this video smaller, but still being responsive, so still looking good on mobile, I have to choose this content container, put it in there, and choose the width of the container. So click on the outer element, and here I can say, for example, that I want this only to be 500 pixels wide, which is not, it's a bit small. Let's say 600. And now if I drag my video in here, you can see that this is only 600 pixels wide. So that is how you can use this responsive video element and change the format to look good on your blog posts and still have them be mobile responsive. So very important to use this container element and not to try with like margin and everything, because then it will not look good if you go onto mobile. So here I still have a text element that I'm going to cancel. And TCB is telling me that I need to save, so let's do that too. And now I'm just gonna copy this element and put it again here. Of course, in your review, you will have to choose another video. And for that, you can just click on it, change the link here again. So that's very easy to do. One thing that we did on the other review post was I also inserted an image. So to do so, just take an image and put it here, and then you can add the media. And like I told you, you can add any element in any size. So this, for example, it's a 300, the full width is 640, so I can insert this in the post. And then I can choose to change the size, put it like center lined, and have a styling. So I can have a lifted style for some nice, like this nice border around the image. And actually I can do the same with my videos. It's something I did on the other reviews. I want to show you. For this we can choose a style, and there are some very cool styles here. The one I used was the lifted 3 style, but for example you could put this in a monitor, so that looks pretty cool. It's maybe a bit overkill for this review style, but it's a nice thing to know that is very easy to add. So here is the lifted style. This just adds like a little shadow underneath it, and that looks pretty cool. So let's do the same here. Lifted style 3, okay. And then we have our image. At the end, of course, we are going to add another button, another call to action button. I could do two things. I can change the button, like put a new one, or I could actually like copy this one and not do the work again and just drag it. So here now I have this element, and as you can see, if I go into the event, so this one will have the same event that's still on it because I just copied it. If you don't want this rotational animation anymore, you can still remove it, this, and then just close. If we want to change the text, we go into link settings, and here we have the text that we can change and our URL. That's a pretty nice looking review blog post. And we have important conversion elements on here. So like I said, the stars, that will be super important, this button that will show up, and then here the navigation. So when people click on it, we will go to that element in the blog post. And again, our call to action at the end. Let me just show you one more thing. So in the beginning of the tutorial, I told you that I used a full width template for this post to have a little bit more space, but I just want to show you that this is not necessary, that you can actually use like a normal with the sidebar of your blog visible. What I did was I changed the post template to default again. This means that we will have the sidebar, save it. Now you can see that this is exactly the same blog post, like the same tutorial that we've been working on. And here now we have the sidebar that shows. But as you can see, this summary box still looks super good. We still have like our 3 columns that look good and the 2-column layout. And so here we have our navigation element and everything. It's not at all obligatory to have the full width templates on your blog. So I just wanted to show you that this actually doesn't make any difference.
So I hope you liked this tutorial, and if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below.